Hey, hi everyone. Uh, I would like to, let me introduce myself. Uh, my name is Siva. I work as a DevOps engineer. So I used to teach when I was in college, and yeah, pretty much I got a job and I got busy. So I don't know why today I would like to, I feel like teaching. So uh, yeah, pretty much I thought to share how we actually use Linux and how one can use Linux to as a technical person. So leave aside Linux. Let's first understand the really basics, like how an operating system, hardware, and everything actually interacts with each other. So let's just first move towards this. Let's consider we have infrastructure. So this is an infrastructure layer, and this is the operating system. In infrastructure, we have, let's consider this as a hardware. Yeah, this is a hardware, and so hardware contain different components. One is the RAM, CPU, yeah, and then storage. These are all the basic components, or what we can say hardware components that actually needs for a laptop to function or for a system to function. And we also have network. So network is a connectivity between two particular systems. Let's say this is a system A and system B. If two systems need to talk with each other, we have network in between. This is a third component. So so this is pretty much the hardware. On top of hardware, we actually we also have other peripherals in as well in hardware. But on top of this hardware, we actually have operating system. It might be anything, Windows or Linux. So Mac OS. Okay. Then we have different operating systems that actually interact with the hardware and runs the application on top of the operating system. Basically, this is one application. It will run applications on top of operating system, right? So hardware, what we can say it is RAM, basically as a temporary memory, like temporary storage that actually processes application. Let's consider this way. So you actually downloaded one particular app from the anywhere. Let's take a Chrome for an example. You downloaded uh, a browser, so you want to install that. First, you click on it and you'll install. You get a file. When you click on the icon, so what I'm trying to say is like how actually a file converts to a process. Okay, so whenever we click on the program that is being installed, so it will basically first loads on the RAM. So that actually converts to a process. Okay, where if it resides on the storage, it's just a file. So that doesn't that's just a file with instructions. Okay, so whenever we click on that particular file, it loads on the RAM. So loads on the RAM, it converts to a process. Okay, you got it right. So after this, RAM and CPU, if there is any logical operation that needs to be done, this particular CPU comes in play. So this process interacts with the CPU to do the logical operations. Okay, uh, yeah, that's all pretty much. So basically, how it actually works internally. Let's consider a program, any program or any system. Let's consider a system. Yeah, that system can be. Yeah, we can interact with this particular system in three ways. First is web UI, second is a CLI, and third is a API. Okay, this CLI is nothing but web UI provides us a graphical user interface. graphical user interface. So this is like we can use mouse to move around and click on the buttons. This is a one way of interacting with the system. And then second way of interacting with the system is CLI. CLI is nothing but command line interface. So command line interface, we pass some text. Let's say if we want date, we can pass a command as date, and that date will this particular thing will like here in command line interface we have a interface called terminal. Okay, in terminal if we type anything like let's say date, it will interact with the operating system, will get output as date. Okay, this is another way of interacting with the system. And then the third way of interacting with the system is API. Like we could write a Python program to show us the date. Okay, or we could use any application program, any programming language to do this API means application programming interface. Application programming interface. Okay, this is a third way of interacting with the system. Yeah, so this operating system, there are different kinds of operating systems. Okay, we actually know Windows. First one is Windows. So this is mostly used for the personal work, as a PC. So we can say desktop. Okay, and then people do use Linux. Okay, for desktop, and then mostly all the servers, all the servers are being hosted with Linux only. So there are different flavors in Linux and Mac as well. Mac is mostly for the personal computers. Okay, in Linux we have different distributions. Okay, let's consider Linux. So because that's the elephant in the room, like we want to learn about that in this video. So let's take Linux. Linux comes in different flavors. This is basically a kernel inside. I mean, yeah, this has a different distributions with different packages with it. Distributions. Um, no, this these distributions can we can thought it as a different flavors of Linux. We have Ubuntu, we have Red Hat, okay, CentOS, Arch Linux. Yeah, these are the basically different types of Linux distributions. Yeah. So as we said earlier, like this video is mostly about Linux. The first thing we will do is install Linux. Okay, it is recommended. We can go to any of the official websites. Let's open Chrome. Ubuntu. So this is one distribution of Linux. Like you can download an AMI and install it. Yeah, there are pretty much different ways to install an operating system. Okay. Uh, first would be like, let me share my screen. Yeah, there are different ways to install a specific operating system. We could use bare metal. Bare metal means like this is your hardware. We can install hardware directly on the we can install operating system directly on the hardware. That's bare metal. And the second way is virtual machines, VMs. Yeah. So virtual machines work with a hypervisor. Let's take this is a hardware. top of hardware we have operating system. So on top of operating system, we would get a hypervisor. Hypervisor is just a application running on top of OS that actually distributes the resources from the hardware uh, to the virtual machines we are running. Okay, we can run based on the resources. We can run multiple VMs as well in a single host machine. This is called host. These are VMs. Okay, this hypervisor acts as a program inside the OS, and it gets the resources from the existing hardware, and it's allocated those resources to these VMs. Okay, this is the second way, and then third way to actually get an OS is like we can use containerization. Containerization is nothing but like with the VMs we have a few of the resource constraints. Let's say it will take more time to install, and basically it has a OS in its own OS, like it has a own OS in it. Let's say if we want to install Ubuntu here and Red Hat here, we could do because it won't use the same kernel from this specific OS. Like it will take more storage as well, more storage. It will consume more storage. And then the third way of installing an operating system, installing, I can say most probably here it won't come like here mostly to get an operating system we can launch a container. We can use a tool like Docker or something. Like we'll get a container for it won't be a full-fledged system, but we'll basically get a operating system. So that architecture look like this hardware, and then on top of hardware we have operating system. Operating system we install a container engine. Okay, container engine. This container engine basically creates containers. Here we don't have a separate OS created. It just use the same kernel. Okay, it's just use these containers will use two concepts like C groups and namespaces from the with the two concepts with these two concepts like the containers are provisioned. It will be heavy for this session. You could explore. Okay, and yeah, we can we can do these two, but latest recently I um, Windows has a WSL that with that we can run pretty much, I mean, Linux commands. So let's in this session I would like to show basic commands from WSL only. So there are two versions of WSL. First one is a WSL and WSL2. So yeah, you can explore more. It's just a Windows subsystem for Linux. Like it will basically on top of Windows, it will run Linux. Yeah, that's the idea. Okay. So if we uh, if we install after we install Linux, let's consider we got a distribution of Linux that is Ubuntu. So Ubuntu, this is a famous version distribution we say. So this is a famous distribution of Linux. You can install Ubuntu, and after that, like we'll get to see we can install Ubuntu as a desktop, or we can install it as a server, like without the GUI components. We'll just get a CLI here. So for this, you can install as a desktop session, desktop, complete desktop. Okay, workstation. We say. Yeah. So once you install this operating system, you can see multiple things. Like you'll get to see it's pretty much same as a Windows system. Yeah. Mm. And but here you can get to access the Linux terminal. So if we go to terminal once, like mm, 1 second, yeah. I'm using WSL. So this is a WSL terminal. You can install in your Windows as well. Like in WSL, we can execute the commands. So so this is a second way of interacting with the system. Like as we mentioned earlier, the uh, GUI. The first one is a GUI. Yeah. Yeah. The first one is a graphical user interface. Okay, and then this is a graphical interface. I'm using my mouse to interact with the system. So this is a graphical user interface. If we open the terminal, this is a CLI. This basically we do something here, like it will go to the operating system. Operating system will give the response. Yeah, you could mostly do a lot of things from here, which whatever the things that you do from the GUI, those can be done from here, and you can do more actually. Uh, More in terms of you get more fine grained control on the system. Yeah, that's basically the idea. So if we like, yeah, this is how it works. So if you open your terminal on Ubuntu as well, like if you open terminal app on Ubuntu, it will show pretty much same like this. So let's just understand the prompt. Like this is called a prompt. So this contains multiple things, like this is a username of that particular system. Like you logged in as a Siva, you'll get a Siva user. If you logged in as a root user, uh, you'll get a root. Let's say I'm trying to switch an user. So see here, you can see it's logged in as a root user. So you can get to know with the ID command as well. Like if you enter the ID, so with this command you get to know that the system username. Okay, you can pretty much exit from this with the exit command. You can come back. Yeah, this is a general user, this is a root user. We can discuss this later. So let's just keep it yeah, easy. So if you can actually do ID, like it will show the username, which user, which I am logged in right now. So it is Siva-Nike. So this is a user that actually I logged in with this system. So if, yeah, and you can do pretty much anything. Like let's say this is a basic command that you can run from this machine. uh, let's say this is a date command, right? So you, if you want to, you just want to explore this, like you can do this command. You can use help. So if you want to know more about the specific command, you can use help. It has a lot of options that you could pass and change the behavior of the specific command. It's just giving the Saturday November 9th this timing and everything, right? So you could use different options from here to print. I mean, basically you got an idea, like whichever date you want to print, time you want to add, you could do that. So with these commands, so see here, like they are just mentioning convert second sense the epoch from this one, like something like that. So you could pass so that the behavior, natural behavior of this specific command will change. So those are called the options. So let's take a screenshot. I'd like to explain this. Just give me a second. Yeah. 1 second. Could do this here as well, no problem. Yeah. So see here, this is the basic prompt that we get from a terminal. So this prompt contains different things. Like this is the user that actually logged in. We can use ID command to get that. Like this is a user. You can also do this. We can basically you can echo this echo $user. It should show the username. So this is another command. This is basically an environment variable that is being set in Linux. This echo command is used to print something like echo seva. Like you have in any programming language, you have something, right? Let's say in Python, you use print to print something. Here in Linux, basically it uses Bash. It's a programming language. Bash to do that. So we are just printing echo one. We want to print one. So yeah, maybe you could print that. So this is a variable. Uh, as the same way you use Python. In the Python you print variables. The same way we use here as well, like echo $user. You could print the user. So let's just try to understand like the prompt first. So this is a user, and then this thing. So this is the host name. So what is host name again? This is the name of the system, that specific system. This is the user that being logged in, and this is the name of the system. Okay. Uh, System here means like the VM or any laptop that you are using. This is a name of that machine, you could say. Okay. So and then this dollar symbol specifies like you can enter the command, like this is a command, so which you as a user input to the machine. Like after input you'll get a response back. This is a response that we got from the OS. So this is a date that is being printed here. Okay. So each time like if we do enter here, like it will you'll get a new prompt to type in. Like we can use another command to get, I mean, what the information we are looking at. If we are looking, I mean, this is complicated for the first class. Like if we can do ifconfig, you'll get all the network interfaces that are being present in that particular machine. Okay. So yeah, pretty much like in Windows we can go to network manager or somewhere like to view our networks the same way. That is the GUI part. Like from the same way in the CLI, we could do these commands so that like we could access the information we want. Yeah, and got it. So pretty much, let's go this way. Then this is fine. This is how we enter the basic commands in the Linux terminal to get a response back. Okay, and let's explore the file system of the Linux. Okay, and how to navigate in the file system. So once you install an operating system, we actually do how to navigate. Like we'll open the file manager and all, right. So and we can do with the commands as well, like navigating file system. So basically like uh, all the files in Linux are organized in directories and files. Let's say directory means like folder. You could say directory as well, directory and file. So these two, like folders contain multiple files. Yeah. So the same concept. So we could navigate this file system from the terminal as well. So if we go to terminal, if we want to know where we are present working directory, so if we enter a command pwd, it will show you the present working directory. So it's in the home of that specific user. So if you want to list all the files present in that specific folder, we could do ls. So it will show all the files that are present here. Okay. So here you could see there are multiple files. So yeah, basically it actually shows all the files that are present. Like if you want to clear the screen, you could use if you want like this is or if this is overwhelming, if you want to clear the screen and if your prompt needs to become here, you can use clear command, enter, and it will go up. So pwd shows the present directory, and if you want to list, you could do ls. Okay, you want to clear something, you can do clear. So yeah, that's basically that. And if you want to create a directory the way you do in Windows or any GUI portal, you can GUI. So you can do mkdir. This is to make directory. Mkdir, let's say Linux. So let's go with Linux. It will, sorry, it's actually present. So we could create Ubuntu. So I created a directory called Ubuntu. You can navigate into that directory with cd command, change directory. Okay, that means like we could use this. Uh, yeah, for comments we could use this hash change directory. This doesn't needs to be there. Like this is change directory. If we do cd the name of the directory Ubuntu, we need to go inside the Ubuntu. So to come back, we can do cd cd Ubuntu, typing everything. So we are in current Ubuntu directory. So if you do pwd, so earlier it is Hiva, and after that like it came into the Ubuntu directory. Okay, so if we, yeah, that's creating directory and navigating to the directory. If I do ls list files, we don't find any files because there is no file there. Okay, yeah. So to create a file, we can use a touch command, touch hello.txt. So this is basically a text file that is being created. You can ls it. I mean, you can list files with ls command. So it is a hello.txt. So it is being created right now. Like we can use file command to actually know what type of file it is. Like it's an empty file, or yeah, this is pretty much. Yeah, if you want to, let's just first understand the Linux directory structure, or where whenever you open a whenever open a terminal, where it actually comes. Like if we enter cd, it will go to the home directory of that specific user. So if we open new terminal, by default it will open in this specific directory. um, so when we open a terminal, it will open in a specific directory. That directory is home/username. So this is a directory where the terminal comes by default. So if I open, we could see like this is a directory that comes in. So yeah, this is this is pretty much that can be, this directory can be indicated with the tilde symbol. Like we can use cd tilde to navigate to specific directory, or we can just do change directory cd. It will directly goes to that specific directory. Like if I go into Ubuntu, we just created right now, if I do cd, it will go back to that directory wherever we actually present. You know, we can go to backstage directory. There is a backstage directory there. Sorry, I thought there are multiple directories, so that I navigated into that. So let's just go into Kubeflow or something. Yes, you don't have to know what is that, but yeah, deploy kf. So this is a directory. If we want to go to the home directory from here, like we could just do cd. So if you do cd, it will just come to the home directory. Like if I do pwd, it will be in home. Yeah, this is a thing. Yeah, with the cd command, like change directories. Like yeah, if we go to kubeflow, so this is just a directory that is being created earlier in my machine. So if I do kubeflow, it will go inside, and if I do ls, it will show. If I want to go inside deploy, deploy kf. I can do it with cd deploy kf. Okay, cd deploy kf, and if I do ls, it will show ls. Like if we could go like argo cd plugin, yeah, something like that. This is a way to change directories and coming back. Yeah, if we do pwd or ls, like we could see like, yeah, ls hyphen a. This is an option to list the hidden files. Okay, we could take a help of the specific command to know what we are doing. So in the help, we don't have to know anything related to this command or any command. We just do help. This is a sub command that this is an option. Uh, Anything that start with hyphen or double hyphen is an option. Okay, sub command means like we don't get to see these two, so it's just ls help. If that is in that structure, it is sub command. It's not a sub command, it's just a option. So if we do ls hyphen hyphen help, it will show all the options. Like if you do hyphen a, do not ignore entry starting with dot, or we can say like the files that are with the dot are the hidden files, like that won't show. We can use this option ls hyphen a to list all the files. If something is hidden or if something is present with a dot, we could see. Like interesting, earlier we haven't saw dot and double dot. Okay, because we haven't passed this option. So what does this dot means? If I do pwd, I'll show the present directory. Okay, so if I do cd dot, what does it? pwd. So this dot contains the address of this specific directory, or what you can say, wherever we go, we change directory to. If we do cd dot dot, it will go one step back. Yeah, basically. If I do ls hyphen a, this also contains a dot and a double dot. Double dot means address to the previous directory. This dot means like the address to the current directory. Okay, if we do cd dot, it will be here, and if I do cd double dot, it will go back. Deploy kf. We actually came back from the deploy kf. Yeah, yeah. That's yeah, that's it. That's it for the cd command. If you go all the way back, like this is a home directory. So this is how you could navigate in a file system with the cd command and ls command. Ls to list and cd to uh, change the directory. Okay, let's just let me draw here. So the first thing is cd command to change directory and ls command to list the files. You could get more options for this, and then we also had a pwd command. It just lists the present working directory for this. Okay, if we go here, so yeah, that's it. So Linux basically starts in the this home directory of a specific user that you are being logged. So you can also see all other files as well. Like if we go to cd slash, this is slash is where the Linux file system starts. So first we'll have slash. Inside slash we'll have multiple directories like home, user, usr, and yeah, etc, something like that. So basically if we go to cd slash, so and here the you could observe this is changed. Like this is a home directory symbol. Tilde symbol is for home directory, and it is now changed to the slash. So if we do pwd, this contains this is slash. This is a first, we can say, let's consider this as a tree. This is a first node. Yeah, this is slash is a first node. Like if we do ls, it will show all the file system files, directories that are specific to that specific system. Okay, and we could see home is for the users and their directories. We can see multiple other directories as well. Like this is how Linux file system will look like. These are all the additional things that will start with WSL, because we we only see these in WSL only, these directories. But if we go to one to we won't see these, like these WSL specific directories. Okay, this is how the slash path of Linux looks. So if we do ls, it will show basically everything, every file system. Like each one has a different different use case. Each directory has a different use case. Yeah, that will be another story. Yeah, you can do this. Like mostly this home directory is to the files of the specific user, and the etc is contains the configuration files if we install any resources. Like this bin directory contain the binaries that are being executed. So this boot contains the information about the boot. Let's say, yeah, pretty much this boot files. Like, yeah, you can go deep if you want to. Like run contains all the files that are mounted, and yeah, and each directory has, if you yeah, run contains the process that are being run right now. Like, yeah, if you go to mnt directory, this contains the mounts that are being mounted. Like if you insert a pen drive and it will mount to a specific path, the same way this mnt directory also contains some disks. And yeah, so if we go to where it actually contains logs of the specific system and the operating services that are being run in this specific system. Yeah, and this hash directory of Linux will be uh, we can go in detail in other session. So that would be information heavy right now. So yeah, this is how it actually looks. Yeah. So if you want to know, yeah, we could do, like, if you want to know where a specific command is present, we do ls, uh, which ls we could get where actually this command present, user bin ls. This command ls command is being installed at this specific location. Yeah, yeah, I'm just clearing the screen. You could explore more commands. If you have a specific use case, like with that use case, you could actually write a command to do that use case. Like if you want to create a file or edit a file, you could I'll do as well from the terminal. Okay. Then first thing, after we get a system or virtual machine, we could check the configuration details of this specific machine. Like, let's say we discussed that we have different resources present in this specific machine, right? So we could there will be, I mean, there are some commands that that is used to describe those specific configurations. Let's say we have RAM, CPU, and storage. Storage, we can say it's a disk. We'll remove this one. Oh, that's a general term. Like the device name is disk, or disk is for storage, and network. So these are these four are the, I mean, main components of the hardware. So if you want to interact with the system, like we want to know how much, I mean, with the RAM, interact with the RAM. If we want to know how much RAM is free and how much is consumed by this specific operating system, like in Windows, we can use Task Manager for that. Like in Task Manager, we could see all the information about that specific machine. Okay, the same way in Linux as well. Like this is a task manager. This is a CPU percentage, memory percentage, disk, and network. The same way, we can also we also have some commands in Linux. We could type in so that we get the relevant information. So if we want to know about the RAM usage, we have a free command. Like if we enter free, we'll get a RAM usage and all. This is a 8 GB RAM, something around 8 GB. So we could use this, like this command to list the resources. Okay, this is only for the RAM. See, this is not readable for a human being. It's in bytes or something. Yeah, but you could make it readable as well if you do help uh, the same way. So this, see, it's in bytes. It'll show. Yeah, if you want to change it, you could change based on your requirement, like petabyte, terabyte. Yeah. So see, there's an option like human readable output. Like if we enter this, it will show the human readable output for the same command. And then again, like if I press upward arrow, upward key, so in the keyboard, it will go to the history. Okay, if I click back, I'm clicking upward arrow, like it'll go up. And here we came to know that -H is an option to get in a human readable format. So I'm a human, obviously. So if I do free-H, it will actually show the information like how much is a total memory. This is a swap. So how much memory we have, like 7.5 GB use is this, and free is this much, and available is this much. Yeah, you can pretty much get a basic understanding of the RAM. This confirms, like I'm using this hash to comment the things. Like we can do this won't execute. It's just a comment. Uh, yeah, we'll do free-H. It will show uh, how many how much resources are free and what's the percentage of usage. So with that, like we have a similar command as stop. Like this will also show the resources and which process is consuming more actually. So this is like most likely like a task manager, but only in terminal available. Like we have in terminal, we could get option like Kubelite is using this many resources, like 27% of my CPU. Now it is dynamic, right? It is increased like 8.3% of. Yeah, basically that's the idea. Like you can do control C. I mean, if there is a command that is interactive or that's showing output continuously and that is hang, we could do control C to actually close that. Like you can interrupt that program to come out. Okay, that's the idea. So you have some other commands as well for different things. Like we could use htop command to get the detailed information about the system. So this will show RAM, CPU, and memory. This is memory this much use and swap this much use. This do contain, yeah. This also has the same information like task manager, which we actually saw. Yeah, this also has a task manager, and yeah, the first one, RAM is done. Like if we have any issue with the system, like we could first figure out it with the RAM usage and CPU usage. If the CPU usage and RAM usage is high, like we can kill that. Like it will be another story. We could kill with the product ID. Like we can discuss this process ID. Like we could discuss this with whenever we discuss the processes and what is a process, how it is being run. So for now, like we will keep it light. So yeah, this just a command to show. And then if we go further, like further to CPU, yeah, in our agenda, like we discussed, like here we have htop command and free command, and then another is stop command. So for listing the RAM for CPU as well, these applies. Like if you want to display how many cores of CPU you have, you can use ls CPU. If I'm not wrong, you can use ls CPU to list all the information about your CPU. It will actually show all the information, yeah, CPU family, and there is CPUs, like there are 16 core CPU in this, like yeah, and architecture, like we'll get complete information about this specific CPU. And if I'm not wrong, nproc, yeah, nproc is also a command to actually show, like you could look up, like I want to know how many CPUs are present in this specific system. What's the command? Something like that in Google. It will show. You'll get a lot of. The basic understanding is that this is a prompt where you enter a command that actually does an operation. So yeah, we are diverting. Like let's focus on this. These four. After that, I'll explain this concept. we could use lscpu to list about the CPUs and nproc. So basically nproc is also a command to list number of processes that CPU virtual CPUs or CPUs present. Like if I do nproc, it will show the process. Yeah, and there comes the disk. Yeah, after this disk means like if you want to store something, so for longer times or yeah. So for that we'll use disk, and then disk also have different commands to know the how much is used and how much is present. Like we can use df command. This will show all the volumes that are present. Volumes in the sense like all the devices of storage that are present here. Like there are multiple storage volumes. Like we could do figure out like anything that is mounted to slash path. See, this is actually mounted. If we use you can check like this. Like if we use a pen drive, it will actually mount to a specific path. Okay. The same way, whenever we create an operating system, the root disk is actually mounted to slash path. So it is actually showing everything in bytes. See, the same problem. Like it's not showing in the human readable format. Like we want to find out like do we have any options for it. I just listed it. So yeah, we do have an option -h. So we can do the same command df-h. We got everything. So see, so our disk contain, yeah, 251 GB and 83 ECUs, 156 is remaining. This is basically a drive that is being mounted, and that's the disk storage and use available, how much percent is used and where it is mounted. Like if you want to know the storage of a specific drive which you mounted, you could see somewhere this is the root drive. Okay, if you want to know some uh, information of some other drive, you could easily do from this. That's basically to check for the disk usage. Yeah, there might be some other commands as well, like this. So this these are just utilities like that we run to get the information from the system. And then the networks, like yeah, let's say there are two systems. Let's consider there are two systems. Like these two systems needs to be communicated. If these two systems needs to be communicate with each other, this system contains a NIC card that is called network interface card. This also contains a NIC card, network interface card. So to list all these NIC cards, like there will be multiple NIC cards in a specific machine. So or even a one, like if we use different networks or different networks have different network interface cards. Okay, so let's list all these network interface cards in a specific machine. So if we go here and netstat, so it will basically uh, yeah, so we can use this one IP config. So this will show all the interfaces that are present in this system. So there are some uh, interfaces that are virtual and that is irrelevant for you. Like I have some Kubernetes clusters running, so they are up. So you want to see this one. So this is a H0. This is a default. What we say, like this is a physical Ethernet card, and this is a loopback address. Loopback means like if we want to, we can explore this whenever we discuss networking specifically. But the basic idea is you'll get to know all the information from here. Like this is a one interface, this is a physical interface, this is the loopback address, and these are all the virtual interfaces. Like let's consider one interface. Like this is one interface that is physical being present in our system. So we'll get a IP address. Like so if you want to understand a system through the network, we'll use IP address. Okay, IP address is to identify a system. It's like a identity number for that specific machine. That is a 4 octet. Like yeah, we could discuss this more in the network whenever we discuss networking. Like this is IP address of this machine, and then this is a net mask. Yeah, basically. And with the netmask and the IP address, we could get to know like which network this machine is in. So that's also a different concept. Yeah, basically this is a way how you could get all the interfaces in the machine. So we can also use IP-ADDR command. Like this will also show all the interfaces present in the machine. See, there are multiple with the less information, and so this is ETH0. So some contains like if we connect to Wi-Fi WL, there will be some interfaces related to Wi-Fi. So here I'm using WSL, so it's not showing Wi-Fi here like it is. It might have bridge or something. Yeah. So that's a basic idea. So for this, we actually use ifconfig. Okay, and then the other one is like yeah, IP-ADDR. This command will show, these two will show the network interface cards. So basically these we you know to troubleshoot a system, we get to know metrics from these guys. So if something goes wrong, if your machine is slow, you could debug it from your terminal like this, like with these commands. Yeah, by running these commands, you'll get to know if the RAM is high or low, or if the CPU is wrong. I mean, CPUs are consuming way much than expected, and your disk storage is less. And if you want to know any IP, any network related things, like you could go to ifconfig or IP-ADDR. Yeah. So let's just understand how actually commands are being executed. Like you don't in a rough way. Like uh, yeah. So this is a terminal, right? Like whenever you enter a command, like this will be executed. Like you can we can discuss here. Like this will go to the operating system, and that instruction. This is pretty rough. Okay, you should consider this. This is pretty rough. There are a lot of details involved in it. So we'll get a. I mean, like this particular thing, this particular input will go to the operating system, and uh, yeah, you'll get a response. This is pretty abstract, and yeah, you got an idea. So this is a way. And yeah, the commands have multiple things like in it. Like we have a, we say, a standardization for each command. Like those are like this is a date command. This is a command. Okay, the specific thing that does for us, and then we'll have a sub command as well if we want to do something. If they structure the command in a nested format, we'll have a sub command as well here. So the same way we did in IP-ADDR. So, so this is a command. This is a sub command. So they might have other commands as well in IP. Like let's say, let's go here IP-ADDR. So this is a sub command that is coming. If I do IP, it actually needs other thing. So see, there are different objects that we can pass. IP, ADDR, ADDR are short for the address. So this is a sub command. Sorry. Yeah. So we could do IP help. It will show all the options. Like we could ADD address, or I don't know, IP link. It will show based on that. Like that is a sub command of that. And then anything that start with hyphen, single hyphen or double hyphen is an option. So single hyphen or double hyphen, this is an option. Option means like if you want to change the behavior of that specific command to something specific to you, not default one, we could use uh, this hyphen or double hyphen. Like if we are mentioning hyphen h or hyphen help, like if we have a single character, we can use a single hyphen. Like do some commands do change, but mostly this is a standard. For a single command, single character we use h, and for multiple, for a word we use help, like something like this. This is a double quote. You can, if you observe this, so I can do same thing here. IP hyphen H, with a single H I'll get hyphen hyphen help. I'll also get the same output. But these are the different way of using these options. Like, yeah, if you want to type less, you can use like this. But if you are using more than one character, it needs to be double. It's not mandatory, but it's not with all commands. But most commands do follow this standardization. Yeah, that's basically the structure of a command, like how you execute and how you get a response. Mm. Yeah. Okay, let's just quickly recap like what we have discussed, and then we are good to go. We can wind up this session. Uh, okay, I'll just quickly go through this. This is a summary. First, there are different operating systems. Yeah, from here, I guess. There is Linux 101. Yeah. So these are all the components we discussed about RAM, CPU, and uh, OS, like storage, networking. These are all the physical components, and we also have discussed about operating system. So infrastructure in hardware, these components will come. And then if we go there, like if you want to interact with the system, we have a three ways. One is a web UI, second one is a CLI, third one is a API. So these are all the three ways to interact with the system. Like we mostly use CLI for executing commands. So web UI can, general users can use web UIs. If you go down, like yeah, these are major variants of operating systems, which you can say, like Linux. In Linux we have different distributions. Like Linux also have comes with different distributions like Ubuntu, Red Hat, and CentOS. Yeah, these. And then first we need to do, like if you want to interact with the system, we need to install it, obviously. So we'll install. There are different ways to install a system, like bare metal VM. We can launch a virtual machine in AWS or GCP or any other cloud provider, Azure. So this can be done, or you can actually launch your operating system VM in Windows. Okay, you could launch this as well. Like, and then the third way is like containerization. These are the three ways. Yeah, we are using WSL. Like in future, we could install an virtual machine to explore more. Or if there is something that's not working in WSL, we could move forward to, yeah, basically to the virtual machines. So this is a prompt. Mm, Yeah, prompt contains two things, like the user and the host name. User is the username that is being logged in. So, and then the host name is that machine's name. Okay, a name of the machine. Yeah. So, and then after this, we discuss the navigating file system. We use CD command to go inside and come back from a file system. And then we have a ls command to list the files, and pw to know where we actually present. So by default, the cd command will go. By default, the whenever we open the terminal, it will be present in the home and the username. This is a present working directory. After we open a terminal, like this is the default directory where the terminal opens. The cd will change directories, and then we overlooked, like we actually check the overview of directory structure from in the slash. There are different directories like home, user, etc, run, uh, this case sensitive, run, mnt, and pretty much like where, yeah, there are a lot of directories like these in Linux. And then yeah, if you want to debug a system, pretty much like without knowing the specific details, if you are debugging a system, to know, if you want to know information and configuration details of your machine, you could use these commands, like to to I mean to get the details about respective component, like let's say FreeH, top RAM, yeah, something like this. Yeah, these commands can be used. And then yeah, how a command is actually structured. We could it is contains a command, subcommand, and option. Like sometimes subcommands are optional, and sometimes subcommands present. Yeah, these options are used to change the behavior, like the default behavior of that specific command. We use the options to change according to us. Yeah, I think that's all from my side. Yeah, for today. You could actually right now able to interact with a Linux machine from the terminal, and we have a different commands like as well, like we have different commands for different things. We could explore, like if you have a specific use case, you could simply go into your terminal and uh, run the commands. Yeah, we in the navigating file system, yeah, in the file system we do have some other commands we could discuss. Yeah, signing off. Thank you. Bye.